Well, good afternoon and welcome back. I'm Georgene Rice. Glad to have you with us. And as I mentioned just before the break, got a great announcement and an invitation. Now, if you, like me, like good food, and I like good food, and if you like great music, I want to let you know of an opportunity that's coming up on Saturday, March the 29th. It's going to be at the historic Polaris Hall, which was formerly North Star Ballroom, built back in 1930, to hear great gospel music. And we're talking about a gospel brunch featuring Eldon T Jones. He is a premier saxophonist in our community, and he's going to be flanked by musicians whose names you may or may not recognize, but the sound is, it's unmatched. With us here today is Eldon T Jones to talk a little bit about this gospel brunch. I'm looking forward to it, and I would love to share that occasion with you as well. Eldon, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you, Georgene, for inviting me.
Now, a gospel brunch. Now, these are two of my favorite things in one phrase. First of all, I love food, and brunch is one of those categories, and gospel music. Tell us a little bit about what this gospel brunch will be all about.
Well, it's a chance for me to share music with the community. The type of music that comes to me the most natural is gospel music. Now, I grew up in a home where music was always around me, and our life was church. And so I'm just excited about just sharing what the music that has inspired me over the years with the community.
You know, I've had an opportunity to sing with you. I've had many opportunities to hear you play, and I can say that you are one of the finest saxophonists in our community, and that seems very narrow because you're a great saxophone player in any community, but I'm so thrilled that our listeners are going to have an opportunity to hear from you. Now, those who know your name, Eldon T Jones, know that, and others will perhaps be introduced for the first time. In addition to your playing, you're going to be accompanied by other musicians, among them one of the finest drummers in our community. I'm married to a drummer, so I know your brother Anthony Jones, Tori Ward on bass, Zach, whose last name I'm not going to attempt to mispronounce, will be playing keys. Tell us a little bit about the musicians that will be playing with you.
Yeah, these are some very dynamic musicians that will be joining me, musicians that I work with often. Of course, my younger brother, Anthony Jones, is just a dynamic drummer.
Yes.
Tori Ward is a great bass player. He's also produced a lot of music over the years, and so he's going to be joining me. Zach Polwhite, which is a young musician that I met a number of years ago while he was still in Eugene. He was studying in Eugene at the University of Oregon, and he played for the gospel choir there at the University of Oregon. And so I said, this young man has a lot of talent. I started inviting him to do some things with me, and he's just really blossomed as a musician, and so I'm excited to have him join me as well.
Well, it's going to be a great event. Now, as I mentioned, this is a gospel brunch. So in addition to great music, there's also great food. My understanding is Chelsea Jones is going to be catering the event. Tell us a little bit about that part of this gospel brunch.
Oh, yeah. Chelsea Jones, she's actually my daughter-in-law, and she's just a dynamic cook, caterer, and she's working on something that's going to be really good. It's going to be some great food, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, we're looking forward to the opportunity to hear you play in a relaxed environment, to hear gospel music. I understand there might be a special guest announcement. I don't think you want to necessarily say it now, but there may be a special guest as well?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully you'll be free to be there, and, join us and have some fun.
Well, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. This is an opportunity for folks to hear gospel music in perhaps a different way. It's gospel music played as it should be, with energy and excitement. And some of the music we'll recognize as contemporary. Some of it may go back a little ways. How do you choose the music that you play for this kind of an event?
Well, I choose music that I think that will connect, with the audience that I'm projecting to be there. I'm projecting it will be probably an all age audience, and so I will do some things that are very traditional, and then I'll also do some things that are contemporary, and then I'll also catering music to some of the wonderful people that'll be joining me, and including my family is going to be joining me on some songs. My mom, and my sisters, and my aunt. And so I chose music that kind of fits their voices and all. And so, yeah. So
Well, you come from an extremely talented family. If I were to name names, a lot of our listeners would recognize them. They are in churches all around the community. They've been involved in music all around the community over many years, many generations. My father was a great friend of your grandfather, who was a pastor in this area. So this is really an opportunity for community to come together, to just enjoy one another, to enjoy some great food and some great music. I'm putting my own imprimatur on your music because you are such a gifted and talented and joyful musician. I think we're going to enjoy this in a way that some folks may find surprising, because it's an unusual occasion to come together around music and good food. We're talking about the event that's going to take place on Saturday, March the 29th, again at the historic Polaris Hall, formerly known as the North Star Ballroom. It was built in 1930, so it's picturesque in and of itself. It is accessible. There's an elevator if you need assistance getting from one level to another. So it's accommodating for folks to come. And you'll have the opportunity to not only enjoy some great music and fellowship, be a part of the community, but enjoy some great food as well. And I'm looking forward to hear from you and members of your family who have blessed our city for many, many years, many generations. So it's going to be a great occasion to gather together, and I want to personally invite our listeners to join us. I'll be there, and I look forward to greeting you as well, enjoying some great food, and the finest saxophonist in our area, and happens to be a gospel music player as well. Any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our listeners, Eldon?
No, except for just, hey, come and be there, be part of it, and we're just going to have some fun, some good music, and some great food, and I promise everyone will enjoy it.
Oh, I promise that as well. And if you want to hear Eldon speak, you just let him pick up that horn. He will speak very clearly to all of us for this gospel brunch. Again, we're talking about Saturday, March the 29th. The doors will open at 11. The brunch will be served at 11:30, and the music starts at noon. It's going to be a great time of fellowship featuring Anthony Jones on drums, Eldon T Jones on saxophone, Tori Ward on bass, Zach, whose last name you heard a moment ago on keys, and it's going to be a great time. Now, where can they get their tickets? I know that we have a link at kpdq.com. Any other suggestions for getting tickets to the great show?
Yeah, you can go to my, there's also a ticket link on my website. It's just eldontjones.com. And, they can find the ticket link there. And then we've also posted it on social media as well. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, again, you can go to kpdq.com. You can get all the information and a link to purchase your tickets. You can go to Eldon T Jones, which is ELDONTJones.com for information, or you might stumble on it on social media. But let me encourage you to get your ticket now. You don't want to be left out. Join us coming up on Saturday, March the 29th. Doors open at 11. Well, Eldon, I'm so looking forward to hearing you, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us here today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Georgene, for having me.
See you on the 29th.
See you on the 29th.
Bye-bye.